This is The Close-Up. Conversations about creativity.
Five years from now, we're going to look back on this period of 2015 or 2014, whatever, and we're going to look back and we're going to realize that this was a key moment, a key period of change in the media and entertainment space specifically. The economics are changing, the platforms are changing, the consumer habits are changing, the way we eat and drink our content, the way we access our content, the way it's monetized, the way companies fund it and produce it. All of it's changing. So I think it's going to be really exciting a few years from now to look back and say, gee, we were there, we were part of it.
I understand you're in the middle of a tornado.
But it is exactly like a tornado. And it's a bit like being in the tornado and you're Dorothy and you don't know if you're going to land in Kansas, your home state, or in Budapest. Okay, that's how big the tornado is, and that's how wide it's going, and that's how disruptive it is.
There was an article in Ad Age that the typical Fortune 500 CMO, those are 2-year contracts.
Yep.
These are not lifetime contracts,
Correct.
even for the best of the best.
That's right.
Are contracts getting shorter? Are there fewer contracts? What are the terms of agreement if you're working for someone these days?
There are fewer contracts. Okay, that's the short answer to the question. There are far fewer contracts today. The contracts today are a lot for the creative people. You know, the truly creative people developing shows and producing shows. Those folks have contracts. People overseeing a creative process oftentimes have contracts. The executives some have contracts, but there's a push at all the studio companies and all the traditional network companies, cable and broadcast, to minimize, to reduce the number of contracts. What is being put in place oftentimes are these rolling severance agreements. So they're essentially, it's a pre-negotiated rolling severance of a year or 6 months or 18 months or whatever it's going to be. And that's actually the most valuable part of the contract, frankly. Because at the end of the day, obviously the company's going to pay you every 2 weeks the way they're supposed to.
Right.
Or presumably.
Right.
Okay, but at the end of the day, the real question is around how am I going to get treated on the day you decide you don't want me here anymore? Okay? So if you have a rolling 12-month severance agreement, you at least have that cushion. And I think we see a lot more of that today than we have ever before.
What's a great resume look like?
Just the facts, ma'am. Okay?
How many pages?
I'm not a savant of resumes. I have colleagues in my firm and colleagues around the industry that have very strong feelings about resumes. I think as long as it states the facts, it's easy to read, it's short, it's punchy, it's got bullet points, it tells the truth. Never, never, never tell us that you have a degree from some place that you don't have, because we do verify all the educational statements on a resume. We actually contact the universities on every single person we present to a client.
The Close-Up is produced by the Advanced Imaging Society in Hollywood and powered by Barco.